Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. Today is Saturday. Happy Saturday morning to you. I hope that your morning is going well. My morning is going great. I looked at the scriptures we're going to read today, and it's a little bit about feeling defeated, and then it's like that confidence that God is going to be going before you and protect you during all those things where you're feeling defeated in your life. So you guys ready? Let's just dive in and start reading. That sound good? We're going to read Psalm 60 and Psalm 61 today. I'm reading from the Amplified Version. Read whatever version you like. ESV is a good one. There are so many different versions out there. I just like this one because it just kind of like expands a little bit on the words and helps you to like understand it more. It's not like a legalistic approach. It's more of like, okay, let's like, instead of saying it this way, let's say it with these other words. And it's like, oh, it just expands, amplifies, thus the wording on it. So let's start. Psalm 60. Okay, it says, lament over defeat in battle and prayer for help. Do you ever feel like you're defeated? Do you ever feel like, yeah, we all do. I don't think I've ever met anyone, ever, that hasn't gone through a battle, who hasn't cried out for help. No, no one. It says, to the chief musician, oh, this is the beginning of it. Oh, there's a tune of the Lily of the Testimony. It says, something from David to teach when he struggled with the Armenians of Mesopotamia and the Armenes of Mesopotamia and Armenes of Zobah. And when Joab returned and struck 12,000 Edomites in the Valley of Salt. It says, O God, you have rejected us and cast us off. You have broken down our defenses and scattered us. You have been angry. Oh, restore us and turn again to us. You have made the land quake. You have split it open. Heal its rifts, for it shakes and totters. You have made your people experience hardship. You have given us wine to drink that makes us stagger and fall. You have set up a banner for those who fear you with awe-inspired reverence and submissive wonder, a banner to shield them from attack, a banner that may be displayed because of the truth, that your beloved ones may be rescued. Save with your right hand and answer us. Okay, so for myself personally reading this, like right away, like it says, God, you have rejected us and cast us off. You've broken down our defenses and scattered us. But like God, that's interesting. Again, I don't know the context exactly because I don't know, I can't recollect that exact struggle that he had in Mesopotamia, but it's David right, David? Yes, David feeling like he's being rejected and like, God, you've rejected us. But like, I know God doesn't reject us. He doesn't. He does cast you out. Like if you choose not to get him, that's going to be your choice, but he is always there loving you, ready to love on you. It's like he's always in the midst of you. It's just whether or not you're reaching out to him. But how quick, it's like, God, you've just gotten rid of us. You've cast us out, all these things. You've been angry. Everything's going wrong, and the earth is shaking because they're thinking like he's so angry at him. So that's interesting. Just an interesting point. I don't know. I'm not God. I don't know all the answers to everything. Anyways, he's calling him out to help. He's struggling. He's going through battles. Sometimes we go through things, we like instantly blame God for everything, right? Like, oh yeah, like God, why? Why God? Why? And we go to him and it's like, yes. And then it's like, oh, you're going to use this for us. But it's like, no, it's not God doing the bad things. It's the enemy. And I think that David needs to be talking about the enemy and that the enemy is doing this to him because God is always there. Probably as we get to the next one, right? Because he's probably going through a day of defeat. It says, God has spoken in his holiness and his promises. I will rejoice and I will divide the land of Shechem and measure out the valley of Succoth. Gilead is mine and Manasseh is mine. The Ephraim is my helmet. Judah is my scepter. Moab is my washbowl. Over Edom I shall throw my shoe in triumph. Over Philistia, I raise the shout of victory. Who will bring me into the besieged city of Petra? Who will lead me to Edom? Have you not rejected us, O God? And will you not go out with our armies? Give us help against the enemy, for the help of man is worthless, ineffectual without purpose. Through God we will have victory, for he will trample down our enemies. So now reading it, it's like, yes, he's feeling defeated. He's feeling like God let him down, right? Don't ever feel like God let us down in relationships, in jobs, or all these things. But it's like God can teach us in those bad times. And it's not that God caused those bad times because the enemy and sin is on this world, but God, that's where the Bible talks about God works all things out for good. But there's more. It's to those who walk according to his purposes. So you may be walking according to his purposes and things happen. You're like, whoa, whoa, why is this happening? No, no, no. Speak against it and then go, God, what do I need to be doing right now in this situation? And let God do what he needs to do, because he's going to protect you and keep you safe like he did, because David stayed alive. He kept him through this, right? And it says God is going to be out. So then he's his help, and he's asking him for help, like we should be every single day. It's like, it's so easy. I know when we were moving, and like I took a break from reading this with you guys, and just even myself, my daily time, it was like non-existent. Not I don't want to say non-existent, because God is there and he's with me and I'm speaking to him through the day. But my quiet time in the morning, where like, all right, God, speak to me. And it's like, I was thankful at church. We got a little book, and it was just a simple weekly devotion thing to do. And I was like, but I had to do it each week. And so I'm like, it made me stop and slow down and go, okay, you need to get back into this. You need to do this. Get back into it. Because it's easy, because we're moving and all the things. And the Bible was packed, and who knows where the Bible was. And even though it's on your phone, Amy. And so just like that routine, because you're tired, you're staying up, you're working, you're waking up, you're tired, all those, that circle. Now it's like, no, it's time to take that time with, it's important to take that time with the Lord. And, you know, instead of zoning on YouTube shorts, it's like, listen to a message, listen to some encouraging words, so that you can like, all right, God, what do I got in my life? It's like, the enemy is so good to get us distracted in that humdrum of life, so that we don't move forward. So easy to do that. And then I saw it even happening to myself, just that cycle. And this literally in just in the last month, like just so easy to get my time away from the Lord. How much easier it was to not listen to my worship music. How easy it was to like, I'm just gonna watch YouTube shorts, and like wasteful stuff. And then it was like, but I saw my mindset on a few things start to like wander to things like I haven't even thought about for a long time at all, like at all. Where like, I know God's healed that. I know God has, you know, done a work there. But like the little thoughts, and I'm like, what is happening? And like, why am I feeling this way? And you know, return to me, God, as he says. And it's like, okay, it's easy to get out of that when you're not into that. And it's like, it's like one thing after another, you might not think that one thing's a big deal. Like, no big deal to watch YouTube shorts. There's nothing wrong with YouTube shorts. I'm just saying that because that's what I would watch. It could be movies on Netflix. I'm just using my example. And then choosing a song instead of worship music. Nothing wrong with that again, but there's one thing with another. It's choosing to listen to a lie instead of the truth. Okay. It's choosing to let that negative thought even give more than a second in my brain. And then it goes on and on and on. And then eventually you've got this humongous thing, and you're like, why do I feel so bad? Hello, what are you doing? So thankful for the reminders, and God reminds me every day, moment by moment, you're with me constantly. And it's not that God went away in the last month, because he didn't. It's just that myself got out of those habits, all those things of keeping consistent in my life with him. It's very easy to do. So get in this word, get reading it, spend that time, even if it's 5 minutes. I know you can see things in you, how to start a morning devotion, an hour of time with God, an hour of prayer. Oh, like, yeah, that doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't. Give yourself 5 minutes. And I know it's not like giving just a little bit to God, but it's starting with something, especially if you haven't. All right, read one chapter, and then go, okay, I didn't even get anything. Let me pray. Okay, God, it might be just a whatever prayer, but like, remind yourself, okay, God, let me speak. Let me ask you, what do I do today? What do I do next? What do I do? And constantly. So when your day goes, you go to start your day. All right, God, what am I supposed to do right now? How do I start? And get into that habits, those routines to do that. And it like gets more normal, more natural part of your day. So it's easy to get out of. I've been doing it for a long time, and it's easy to fall right off it real quick. So that's why that's why it's important not to judge others, because it's easy to look at them and go, why are they choosing that path of life when you think they should be doing it a different way? Well, read in your Bible, the Israelites, like real quick, how God did all these great things. And you know what? They fell off all the time. Like forgot what he did. And I'm like, what is happening? So we're humans. That's how our short mindset works on things, isn't it? So let's keep reading. Psalm 61. Confident in God's protection. Hear my cry, O God. Listen to my prayer. From the end of the earth I call to you when my heart is overwhelmed and weak. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I, a rock that is too high to reach without your help. For you have been a shelter and a refuge for me, a strong tower against the enemy. Let me dwell in your tent forever. Let me take refuge in the shelter of your wings. Yes, it's like, God, I know you're there. Keep protecting me. For you have heard my vows, O God. You have given me the inheritance of those who fear your name with reverence. You will prolong the king's life, adding days upon days. His years will be like many generations. Do you know that God's going to prolong your life? There's a lot of scripture about adding days to your life. It says in there, man is appointed 120 years on this earth. Read about how to cut days off of your life and how to add days. That's an interesting study. Go do that on your own. That's an interesting thing to do. It says, his years will be like many generations. He will sit enthroned forever before the face of God. Appoint loving kindness and truth to watch over and preserve him. So I will sing praise to your name forever, paying my vows day by day. Day by day, hour by hour, moment by moment. We should be doing that with the Lord. And he is good. He is always good. You might be going through things. I know we all go through things. Everybody does. And it's like this journey. And so I love filming. I love filming each day. I love filming aspects of my life to show that, look, it's not always so amazing. There's things that happen. But how do you walk through those craziness? Like, I've been through a lot the last couple of years where I think it would just, I know it would just break a person. I know it would, because I've seen people break and fall apart, fall away from God, lose it, have a meltdown, get it, all those things. And I'm not saying that I was perfect through it. No, I was not. But the key was the consistency with the Lord. I had moments and days where I was like, God, you're so far away. Where are you? What is happening? Let me just hide under a rock and disappear. It's like, God's like, I'm pushing you out. You're not allowed to go under that rock. I'm going to keep you here. Keep shining a light for Jesus. I have a plan and a purpose, and trusting him. And it's like, okay. And the more you walk in that, you see how awesome he is. I know even the other day I was just like, I wasn't struggling with things, but I was thinking about things, struggling a little bit internally. And it was like, okay, why? And I think in my study it was about limiting God. And I'm like, why do we limit God? Like, even though we do things, like what God can do something hugely. Even though we make foolish choices, we do silly things, and we do things thinking it's good, and then God's like, here, just humble yourself and say, God, you know what? I missed it, God. I don't even know what happened. I spent all my money. I chose this in the relationship. I said this wrong thing. I screwed up. Lord, help me. And he will. That's the beauty. He will, if he sees that your heart is turned toward him. And like, I saw that in my life, and I was like, I just smiled. I'm like, what? God, I'm so foolish of a human. It's like he's got to sit up there and just go, you humans, like, it's okay, baby. It's okay. I got you. It's like we think we're doing this great thing. We think we're like feeling good walking in, and God's just like, yeah, that's a good job. You're doing great. You've got so much to learn. And I'm like, I know, Lord. Thank you so much for learning and the ability to keep changing and the ability to keep walking in your truth. It's a great thing. So, all right, I hope you're encouraged today for the rest of your weekend, and I hope you're encouraged for the rest of your week. Get in here and read this. Find a Bible reading plan. There is the Bible Hub app. It's the brown one. It's free. You can go on there, and there is thousands, I'm sure it's thousands of Bible reading plans, and go on there. Like, just choose the daily reading Bible plan. Every single day on your phone, it'll send you a reminder. You haven't read, and read. It's free. If you need that checklist, do it. Sometimes you can get a printable copy and you can just mark it off. Whatever you like to do, just get in here and read this, because there's so much truth in here, and it just seems overwhelming sometimes. Like, yeah, I don't know. It is. Like, start with something. I think of just a few years ago where I was at in life, and it's like, okay, I've come a long way. Like, yeah, I've still got so much more to go, and so much more to learn. But like, instead of looking at daily progress, look at like a big timeline progress and go, okay, yeah, God, there's lots of dips and valleys. Yeah, I can see like where it's going up, but I see a big giant dips in a lot of that. But it's like, okay, it gets easier to deal with things. It gets easier to go on with your day. It gets easier to keep going forward versus putting yourself in a rut. There was times before, way back, when things would happen, it put me in a depressive state, a frustrated state for a longer time. Things will happen now, and it's like, okay, it's a lot easier to blow off and go, you know what, now I can think about that. Like, God's got it. And people will call it being naive. No, it's not being naive, because you're aware of the problem. You're aware of the things. It's called faith, putting God in the situation, letting God work those things out. That's what you need to be doing. That's what you need to be doing. Know that God is so great, and we can't limit him into what he can do. It's like, it's amazing. And like, the more and more things happen in my life, it's like, all right, God, yeah, there's a testimony there. There's a story there. And I can't wait to share those things. And so don't limit him. Don't limit God this week. Don't limit him ever, but focus on that this week. Remember last week it was the not moving you? This week, don't limit him on what he can do in your life. So, all right, have a fantastic rest of your day. I'm going to see you guys again on Monday with another video. All right, see you Monday. Bye.